وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh, my dear respected listeners of Salaam Radio. Alhamdulillah, in the next 45 minutes to an hour, inshallah, I'll be here with you live in the Salaam Radio studios to talk about a very important aspect of Islam, the pillar of Islam, as-Zakat. We began last week talking about the virtues and the wisdoms of Zakat. This week, inshallah, I want to go straight in terms of how to calculate our Zakat. Many of you, because it's Ramadan, you'll be thinking about how to calculate your Zakat. You know, last week we talked about Zakat due date, when you should pay Zakat. There's a misconception or misunderstanding among some people that you should pay Zakat, you have to pay Zakat in Ramadan. That may be the case for some people, it may not be the case for others, because your Zakat due date is whenever you became, as I explained last week, Sahibun Nisab, the owner of the minimum threshold. So today, inshallah, I want to go straight into the Zakat calculation, inshallah. There are 3 steps or 3 easy steps you should take when you want to calculate Zakat. 3 simple and easy steps. Number 1, you have to calculate, you have to sum up the value of all of your zakatable assets. There are certain assets that we own, positions that we have that are zakatable, meaning we have to pay zakat on them. There are certain assets and positions that we own that we don't have to pay zakat on them. And inshallah, I'll go through and list what are the zakatable assets and what are the non-zakatable assets. So the first step that we should take is to summarize the 3 steps in the beginning for you. First step we should take is value your zakatable assets. What are you worth in terms of your zakatable assets? That's number 1. Number 2, then what you do is you deduct any liabilities. Any liabilities that you have, for example, phone bills and at your zakat due date, then you can deduct. That's number 2. And then whatever is remaining is your net zakatable asset figure. Whatever is remaining is your surplus amount, and you pay 2.5% of that. So these are the 3 easy steps that you take when you want to calculate your Zakat. In accounting terms, Zakat is a balance sheet equation. As I mentioned last week, that at your Zakat due date, it doesn't matter. You look at what you own at your Zakat due date, not future, not past. Whatever is at your Zakat due date in terms of zakatable assets, you have to consider and calculate. So let's go into the 3 steps in detail. What are the zakatable assets that we have to pay zakat on? What are the non-zakatable assets? You know, when it comes to business assets, when it comes to personal items, when it comes to all the things that we own, how do we calculate? It can get complicated, but I will do my best to simplify for our listeners, inshallah. And brothers and sisters, as I mentioned last week, I'm here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Salaam Radio, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Live with you every Wednesday, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And if you want to contribute, if you want to ask a question, inshallah, you can call the studio hotline number, inshallah, on 01733602133. The number again, if you want to talk to me, inshallah, ask a question about Zakat, the number of the studio is 01733602133. If you want to text, you don't know how, you can't explain it via words, perhaps you want to explain it via writing, then you can WhatsApp or text your question, inshallah, on the following number, 07745278978. The number again, the text number and WhatsApp number again, brothers and sisters who are listening, 07745278978. If you want to email your question, then you can email your question to info@salamradio.co.uk. So let's get into the calculation. So in detail, the first thing that you have to do is sum up the value of all your zakatable assets. So you take in one column you have your assets, another column you have your liabilities, and whatever's remaining is your surplus wealth. And if that is above the nisab, you pay 2.5% of that. And as I mentioned last week, that we go by this silver measurement, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said is 612.36 grams. In today terms, we go by the monetary value. Today is approximately 233 pounds. So the gold and silver prices, they fluctuate. So at your zakat due date, you have to find out what the price of gold and silver is, and then you transfer that into monetary terms. So we're going by the silver measurement, and today it's about around 233 pounds 77 pence. So the first thing that you do, you look at your zakatable assets. So what are those items that are zakatable? Number one, all cash is subject to zakat. All cash, your savings, saving your bank accounts, in your wallet, right? The cash or the money that you lent to others that you know that you will receive that money back. Cash, liquid, cash obviously is subject to zakah. So you put you calculate, you add up your cash, your money, right? Your savings account, money that you lend to other money you've got in your accounts, buried on your mattress, right? In one basket, right? And then the second item that is zakatable is gold and silver jewelry. Gold and silver jewelry. Now, whether you wear the gold and silver jewelry or not is zakatable according to the Hanafi madhab, right? So you have to weigh up your gold and silver jewelry and see how much that is, and you add it in your basket. The second item you add in your zakah basket when it comes to calculation is gold and silver jewelry. Of course, if you have gold coins or any other gold items, then obviously you have to calculate that, measure that, weigh that, and value that, and put it in your zakatable basket, in your calculation basket, inshallah. That's the second one. The third item is any business goods, any tradable urud al-tijara, any tradable items. And within that, there are a number of different types of business items. The first one is, what is a business item? Or urud al-tijara is anything that you purchase with the intention to sale. Anything that you purchase with the intention to sell. If I buy a pen and I want to sell that pen on eBay, make a little bit of profit, then I have to calculate zakat on the retail price of that pen, right? Retail price of that pen. So any business I have, anything, all the inventories, anything, any goods that I sell, I buy and sell, when it comes to zakah, I have to calculate my zakah on those items on the retail market. So for example, I own a shop. Yeah, I own a shop that sells thobes and salwar kameez and general clothes. All the goods I buy to sell, I have to calculate zakah on it. Not the wholesale price, not the price that I bought them from, but I calculate my zakah on the market rate, retail, the cost that I am selling it for. Yeah, the fixed item, the buildings and the machinery and the chairs and table, these are not zakatable. If you have any items that you use to the thread and whatnot, then you have to also include that at your zakatable, like the value or the amount that you bought them for. You have to add that in your zakat calculation. Yeah. Stocks and shares are also zakatable, right? Properties are also zakatable. Now, when it comes to those items and issues, right? So, if I buy a property with the intention to resell, then I have to pay zakah on the entire value of the asset at market rate at my zakat due date. So for example, today is my zakat due date. Okay, I think we have a caller, inshallah. I'll pause here for a moment and we'll try and entertain the caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, brother, you are listening to Salaam Radio, the Zakat Hour with the Zakat Doctor, inshallah. How can I help?
My first question is that I heard you mention Hanafi mazhab. Hanafi is not a mazhab.
Hanafi is not a madhab? The Hanafi madhab.
Mazhab is Islam.
Yep.
Hanafi,
What is your question, brother, in terms of zakah?
My question is, if you've got, say, for argument's sake, £10,000 in cash,
Yep.
total assets,
Yep.
right, and you've got £30,000 mortgage, how would you calculate that?
Inshallah, it's a very, very good question, and thank you for taking your time to call in and ask that question, brother, inshallah. I will definitely answer that as I go through my presentation, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for asking that question.
Yep.
Anything else, brother?
No, that's all, brother. If you can just comment on that, then I'll appreciate it.
Jazakallah khair. I will do my best to answer that, inshallah. So thank you for calling. So brothers and sisters, inshallah, you are listening to Salaam Radio with the Zakat Doctor on the Zakat Hour, inshallah. I will continue. I would answer that question the brother asked, a very, very important question. We have to go to a short break, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So do stay tuned on Salaam Radio, listening to the Zakat Doctor live, inshallah, from the studio. I'll be back shortly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Where there is extreme poverty, there are always orphaned and abandoned children. Every 2.2 seconds, a child loses a parent somewhere in the world. There are over 200 million orphaned children worldwide. Muslim Global Relief provides education to help orphaned children develop the skills they need, making positive changes in their life and breaking them free from poverty. Awarded the UK's Best Muslim Charity of the Year. Make a 100% Zakat donation. Visit muslimglobalrelief.org.
If you're looking for a competitive insurance quotation and excellent service, then look no further. At Covershaw Peterborough, our staff has extensive local knowledge and offer you friendly advice. We guarantee to beat any written quote. We offer specialist insurance solutions, taxi and commercial vehicle insurance, public and employers liability, shops, offices and restaurants, courier insurance, fast food car insurance and fleet insurance for 2 or more vehicles, motor trade policies, household and buy-to-let insurance. Covershaw has been trading for 40 years and is a true community insurance broker. Call for a quote on 01733 750 850. Covershaw for all your insurance needs.
Ramadan Mubarak from K2 Care. Do you have a loved one that is in need of care? Or are you a caring person looking for a rewarding job? K2 Care provide an excellent service of quality care with professional, dedicated and compassionate staff, all in the comfort of your own home. We deliver a service to encourage independence while maintaining the highest levels of dignity and privacy. K2 Care also specialise in caring for ethnic minorities. Contact K2 Care on 01733 55 52 61 or pop in at 805 Lincoln Road, PE1 3HG.
हाँ जी जनाब, आज तुसने किया 12 बजे
जरा फैमिली की बाहर खड़ना चाहना या खिलाने पिलाने से सोचना कुथे जाओ
इस च परेशानी वाली केड़ी गल है। इब्राहिमी बफे रेस्टोरेंट पर जाओ, उते फ्री पार्क करो। उन्होंने मजेदार ते स्वादले पाकिस्तानी, इंडियन, चाइनीज ते इटालियन आय 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 खाने ना ते जोड़ी कोई नहीं, नाले सस्ते ते स्वादले।
ए तेरा अक्सर इसका मतलब है बटवा भी नहीं होला होनेगा। इब्राहिमी बफे रेस्टोरेंट वैरायटी ऑफ डिलीशियस डिशेस के अलावा जेलाटो आइसक्रीम एंड वॉफल्स भी करते हैं। वीकेंड्स पर अपना टेबल बुक करवाइए और वीकडेज तशरीफ ले आइए। ओपनिंग आवर्स शाम 5 बजे से रात 10:30 बजे तक। इब्राहिमी रेस्टोरेंट 63 Sycamore Avenue, Peterborough, PE1 4JP. टेलीफोन 01733 313131।
Need a great place to chill out? Look no further than The Lounge for quality food and drinks at a great price. Try our varied menu: pasta, seafood, burgers, grills, salad, soup, rice and sides. Also hot and cold drinks, milkshakes and mocktails. Leave room for our exquisite desserts. The Lounge, 417 Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call 01733 709 306 to order for delivery. The Lounge, friendly service with a great atmosphere.
هل تعلمون تحياتي عند الحضور إليكم أنا إن رأيت جماعة قلت السلام عليكم.
My name is Khalid Siddiq.
I'm Saif Adam.
Salaam alaikum, this is Baraka Blue.
Yo, 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 this is your boy Harris J, and make sure you guys stay tuned to Salaam Radio 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. You are listening to Salaam Radio, the Zakat hour with the Zakat doctor, inshallah. Before the break, we had a brother asking a question about a very important aspect of Zakat, inshallah, about his savings and also a mortgage. Inshallah, I'll explain as I continue with my presentation, inshallah, explaining about the calculations of Zakat. You will find the answer, brother. So first, as I said, there are 3 steps that you take when you want to calculate your Zakat. Number 1, sum up the value of all of your zakatable assets. And then number 2, deduct any liabilities, and whatever is remaining, if it's above the nisab, you pay 2.5% of that. So we talked about we are talking about the first step. So all cash is subject to zakat. The second item is gold and silver jewelry, and the third item is business items. And I said anything that you buy and sell. Anything you buy and sell is a business item. So if I have, as I mentioned, I was mentioning about a property. So if today is my zakat due date, and last month I bought a property in Peterborough for 100k, and I want to sell it after 2 months or 3 months. So I bought that property or flat or house, whatever, with the intention to sell. I have to pay zakat on the market rate of my property that I bought last month. Today. So if I bought it for 100k and today I look at Zoopla or I look at the estate agent and they value it at 200k, I don't pay zakat on the 100k, I pay zakat on the 200k. So I have to put that in my zakat calculation basket. Similarly, stocks and shares, as long as it's halal, right, then I pay zakat on the retail market rate of my share. So if I bought my share for £5,000 and today my share is 10k, I have to pay zakat on the 10k. Now if I bought the property, however, with the intention to live in, there's no zakat on it. Any personal item, all personal item except cash, gold and silver is not zakatable. So if I bought the property, if I have one property, right, then there is no zakat on that. There is no zakat on that, right? If I bought the property with the intention of long-term investment for istithmar, right? Long-term investment, then I only pay zakat on there if I rent it out. The rental income I receive from it, whatever is remaining at my zakat due date, right? Similarly with the stocks and shares, if I bought it with the intention of long-term investment, that I only pay zakat on the dividends I receive from it, and obviously you have to pay zakat on the proportion of the percentage that you own, right? It can get complicated, so if you want to ask a question, then you can call myself. If you go to the pennyappeal.org website, you look at the Zakat Doctor page, inshallah, you'll find the email address and on the contact details, inshallah, and you can call directly and someone will patch you through me to calculate your Zakat in detail. So, and then also a pension is no zakatable. So the national insurance contribution pension, that's not zakatable because it goes from our salary. Final salary scheme is not zakatable until you receive it. Defined benefit contribution, then that's zakatable. You look at how much you pay in. Anything you pay in, you contribute, and your employer contributes, right? even though you may not have access to it daily, right? It's under your tamlik, it's under your ownership, right? Then you have to pay zakat on that. Right? You have to pay zakat on that. Money, for example, as I said, that I lent to others, if I know that I will receive the money back, then I have to pay zakat on it. If I know I have tried my best to get the money back and there's no chance that now I will regain the money, then I don't have to pay zakat on that. If per chance that you do receive the money back later on, then obviously you have to pay zakat on that, right? When it comes to long-term debts, so coming to the question of the brother, when it comes to long-term debts like a mortgage, now a mortgage, I don't want to go into the discussion about halal and haram, and that's another discussion, but nevertheless, if you have a mortgage, then you have to look at how you're going to calculate that when it comes to your zakat. So a mortgage becomes a long-term debt. It's not a current debt, it's a non-current debt. It's a long-term debt. And what Islam says, that when it comes to long-term debt, like a mortgage, you don't deduct, right? So when it comes to deduction, so we talked about, let me step back slightly. We talked about the first step. You look at your zakat basket, you look at your zakatable items, cash, gold and silver, saving money that you lent to others, all business goods, you put it in one basket. The second step you take, you deduct any liabilities. So any liability that you have, you can deduct. The first one we're going to talk about is long-term debt, non-current debt, like a mortgage, right? And what Islam says, a long-term debt like a mortgage, right? You don't deduct the whole amount, but you don't deduct the whole amount. You only deduct, according to an authentic opinion, you only deduct 1 month's payment at your zakat due date. Not the 12 months. As one, there is an opinion, but the opinion that is authentic and the opinion that I follow and promote is that you only deduct the 1 month's payment at your zakat due date. And this is given by, upheld by a number of scholars in the UK and also the Islamic education affairs in Dubai and other parts of the world. The other items you can deduct any outstanding bills, so phone bill, electricity bill, water bill, rent that is outstanding at your zakat due date, not future, not past, that you have to pay at your zakat due date month. You can deduct, right? You can deduct any salary. If you own a company, a business, that you have to pay a salary to your employees, then you can deduct not the yearly salary but the month's salary, right? So those are the deductible liabilities that you can deduct. You can't deduct, right? Obviously, when it comes to long-term debts, more than the 1 month payment, you can't deduct. You can't obviously deduct the mahr that you haven't paid yet, right? So those are the liabilities that you can deduct. So and then the third step is whatever that is remaining. If that is above the nisab, then you pay 2.5%. So let me give you, brothers and sisters, a practical example. Before I continue, let me remind you again of the studio numbers, inshallah, so you can ask a question. Our hotline number is, studio number is, if you want to talk, inshallah, is 01733602133. The number again, 01733602133. If you want to text or WhatsApp your question, inshallah, is 07745278978. The number again, 07745278978. If you want to email your question, inshallah, the email address is info@salamradio.co.uk. So let me give you, brothers and sisters who are listening, a practical example. So we talked about the 3 easy steps in calculating your zakat. Number 1, you put in your one column, in one basket, all of your zakatable items, right? your cash, gold and silver, business items, properties that you for buy and sell or investment, the rent that you get from your stocks and shares. Or the other point I forgot to mention, very, very important for especially people who have land and property in other countries like Pakistan and India and other countries, right? When it comes to land, many people will own land. Now, the same principle applies. If I bought their land with the intention to buy and sell, then I have to pay zakah on their entire value of the plot at the saleable price. If it's for my personal use, I want to build a house, then there's no zakah on it. If I grow produce on it, fruits and whatnot, and I want to sell those produce, then I have to pay zakah on the produce, right? And there is different rulings. You can call inshallah. If you go to the pennyapl.org website and you can find the numbers and details, you can call me, inshallah. I'll go through it step by step. But you have to calculate. There are many people who assume that they don't have, just because they're living in this country, but they may have ownership. Tamliq of their land or the cattle, goat, sheep, cows, all those things. You have to calculate zakah on it, right? But because we don't focus on it, we live in this country, we don't really focus on it, right? But don't forget to calculate your land. Don't forget to calculate your properties abroad. Don't forget to calculate any cattle or goat and sheep and cow and all these animals that you have, because the Prophet Muhammad said we still have to pay zakah on those things, yeah? Depending on their circumstance, how you use them and why you have them, right? So let me give you a practical example, right? So you have one column, you have your zakatable assets, another column you have your liabilities, and then whatever is remaining is your net zakatable asset figure. So say for example, I've calculated all my zakatable assets. And it comes to £10,000 as an example, right? £10,000. So I put that £10,000, and this includes, brothers and sisters. A lot of people assume or believe that you only pay zakah on the money that you have. Mal in Islam is not just the money that you have. Mal in Islam is more broad than that. Your money, your savings, your gold, your silver, right? Your properties, your investments, stocks and shares, right? All these things are your mal, your wealth. So you have to calculate that. So say for instance, I've done that, right? And it comes to £10,000. As an example, it comes to £10,000. And remember, anything that I own for my personal use, my own house, my own car, right? Then I don't pay zakah on that, right? I don't pay zakah on that. When it comes to zakah eligibility, is a different thing, right? But when it comes to paying my zakah, I don't count that, right? Even if I have 2-3 houses, and that those houses are for me, but it's for my children and for my family members, still they're not zakatable. Unless obviously if I have the intention to sell, right? Even 10 years later, so I bought a house, as an example, and 20 years later I intend to sell, I still have to pay zakah on the market rate of the property at my zakah due date. Yeah. So my zakatable assets come to £10,000. My zakatable assets come to £10,000 pounds. The second thing I have to do, I can deduct any liabilities, right? I can deduct any liability. So for example, I have phone bill, I have water bill, I have debts to pay, I have a mortgage, I have this and I have that, I have, and I've calculated it comes to £5,000. So my assets, zakatable assets is £10,000. My liabilities, my deductible liabilities comes to £5,000. I take away £5,000 from £10,000. I have remaining, what is it, brothers and sisters? Yes, you're right. I have £5,000 remaining. Now, £5,000 is my net zakatable asset figure. £5,000 is whatever has remaining. After I deduct any liabilities, deduct my expenditure for that month, I have £5,000 remaining. Right? Now, what do I have to do? If that amount, it can be £10,000, it can be however much it is, right? If that amount is above the nisab at my zakah due date, then I have to pay 2.5% of that 5k, not 10k, not 200. So today's nisab is 233 pounds. I don't pay 2.5% of 233 pounds. I pay 2.5% of 5,000 pounds, right? Because 5,000 pounds is more than 233 pounds, which is the minimum amount I need to have in terms of my surplus wealth in order for me to become zakat liable. If my net zakatable asset figure is below the nisab at my zakat due date, and today is 233 pounds, then I am not liable to pay zakat. I don't have to pay zakat. In fact, technically I can receive zakah. That's another discussion. So these are the 3 easy steps that you should take when calculating zakah. Now zakah can be complicated. Hopefully I've achieved to convey to you in a very simplified and a basic manner, inshallah. Few other things that we need to discuss. As I said, I'm here inshallah another 2 weeks in the month of Ramadan. Subhanallah, brothers and sisters, it's the second week of Ramadan. It's the second zakah hour. It's the second zakah show with Zakat Doctor at Salaam Radio. And Ramadan, the days of Ramadan are going fast, right? So if we have not gone to Taraweeh, if we have not achieved what we need to achieve, it's not too late, right? Make the days count. Do not count the days, make the days count. And one of the things that we have to do, brothers and sisters, is pay our zakah, right? So if you calculate your zakah, right, there are so many projects that pennyapl.org does in the UK and abroad that you can go to pennyapl.org website, inshallah. You can adopt a grant, it's zakatable, all of the projects, right? When it comes to, orphans and adopting a grant and whatnot, are zakat applicable, meaning you can pay zakat on that, except for say building mosque and other things. You can't pay zakat on that, right? But most of the projects are zakat applicable, and I encourage you to go to the website and sponsor a hifz orphan, who is doing hifz of the Quran, right? You can sponsor with your zakah money, or adopt a grant, right? Adopt a grant in another country with your zakah money. Build a well with your zakah money, well that is needed for the poor and the needy. Educate, provide mental health support, provide counseling to our brothers and sisters in Rohingya, other parts of the world, right? And you can do that with your zakah money. You can change and transform the lives of hundreds and thousands of our brothers and sisters here in the UK and abroad by using your zakah in the most effective manner. So go to pennyapl.org, inshallah, and you can find the different projects. If you wanna calculate, right, your zakah, you can call me, inshallah, and I will help you to calculate your zakah. Or you can go to the zakah calculator.co.uk. Not there, but zakatcalculator.co.uk. Very easy calculator to use, inshallah. As I explained, you add your assets, you add your liabilities, whatever is remaining. If that amount is above the nisab, you pay 2.5% of that, and with a tick of a button, a press of a button, inshallah, you can go to the projects on the pennyapl.org, and you can, inshallah, pay your zakah, and that will reach the most vulnerable and the most needy in our world. There are a few other things I need to mention about zakah. Can you pay zakah in advance? Yes, you can pay zakah in advance. Some scholars say 2 years in advance. So if you want to sponsor an orphan, for example, £10 a month, £20 a month, £100 a month, right? Then you can do that. But when it comes to your zakah due date, you have to calculate your zakah again. And if I paid less than I should have, I have to compensate. So say, for example, I paid £200 over the year, and today I calculate my zakah, I should have paid £300. So I have to pay another extra £100. So you can pay zakah in advance. Where do you give your zakah? Do you pay zakah locally in the UK, in your city, or you send it abroad, right? Zakah is paid locally and abroad. It's not that you only pay locally, or and you don't pay abroad, or you pay only abroad, you don't pay locally. You pay locally and abroad. Wherever there is a need, and there are many Muslims, there are many people who are zakat eligible even in the UK, brothers and sisters. Some people might not believe it. Yes, believe it. There are people even in the UK, Muslims even in the UK, who are eligible to receive our zakat. And that is why Penny Appeal, they have number of projects abroad. For every project abroad, they have a twin sister project here in the UK. So if it's about orphan care and orphan kind abroad, then you have the adoption fostering project here in the UK. So if you pay, inshallah, not only if you pay your zakah and your sadaqah, your lillah, your whatever through Penny Appeal, you will benefit our brothers and sisters all over the UK, as well as definitely abroad, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So don't listen to people who say you should only give your zakah locally. There is nothing in Islam which say that. What the scholars say is based on maslahah, is based on ijtihad and maslahah. Wherever there is a need, wherever there is a need, then you pay your zakah. And next week, inshallah, what we'll do, I'm going to go into it slightly, in detail about business, right? Go into the different categories of the masarif of zakat, the different categories of zakat that Allah mentions in the Quran, and who you cannot give zakat to. There are certain people you can't give zakat to, inshallah. I will discuss those items in somewhat detail, inshallah, next week. So, brothers and sisters, you've been listening to the Zakat Doctor on the Zakat Hour with your brother in Islam, Imam Abdullah Hassan. Inshallah, please, we still have some time. If you want to ask any questions on any of the topics, any of the points that I raised today, you can call, inshallah. Let me remind you again of the studio hotline number. It is 01733602133. The number again, 01733602133. If you want to text or WhatsApp your question, inshallah, you can WhatsApp your question to the following number, 07745278978. The number again, 07745278978. If you want to email your question, inshallah, it's info@salamradio.co.uk. And if you want to ask after the Zakat Hour show, inshallah, or tomorrow, whenever in the month of Ramadan, our Zakat hotline, national Zakat hotline number, is open every single day of the month of Ramadan from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Sunday, right? Even if you call outside of those hours, I receive calls after Taraweeh, right? Even that is perfectly fine, inshallah. Helping you to calculate zakah is something that I love. I'm fulfilling an obligation. I'm helping you to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because zakah is ibadah, brothers and sisters. Same way we pray, same way we go to Hajj and fast in the month of Ramadan, zakah is a form of ibadah, right? And if I've been able to clarify any misunderstanding, if I'm able to simplify how to calculate zakah, inshallah, for you will achieve that closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I will hopefully also get the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, it is in this month of Ramadan that the Quran was revealed. It is in this month of Ramadan that we need to make a change. It is in this month of Ramadan. If we don't make a change in the month of Ramadan, then when will we make the change? When can we make the change? Right? We can't say after Ramadan, let another Ramadan come and go. No, let us make a change today. Right? If we have not, for example, paid zakah for a number of years, missed zakah, you have to pay your missed zakah. Very, very important point. Right? If you missed your zakah for 5 years, you have to go back, brothers and sisters, and you look at the nisab of that each year, how much you had, and you have to calculate your zakah, inshallah. Right? Because it's a debt. As I mentioned last week, the 2.5%, that wealth, that money, or those assets do not belong to you. That 2.5%, that money does not belong to you. It belongs to the poor and the needy. And as I mentioned last week, that if those who do not pay the zakah, those who do not pay the zakat, it is as if they are stealing from their poor and their needy. And what a dreadful thing to do. What a ugly and disgusting and terrible thing to do, to steal from the poor and the needy. That is a haqq. That zakah is a haqq upon the poor and the needy. Right? And remember, by paying zakah, as I mentioned last week, one of the meaning of the word zakah is increase. So by paying zakah, you will not decrease your wealth. ما نقص من مال صدقة أو كما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. That by giving sadaqah, general charity, and also by paying zakah, your wealth will not decrease. But wallahi, your wealth will increase. Allah will bless your wealth. Allah will purify your wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase your wealth. Allah will give you wealth from places that you did not envisage those blessings will come from. Right? وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Whoever fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by fulfilling the commandments and obligations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open doors for him, and He will provide him provisions and blessings and money and wealth from places where he could not have imagined. This is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and do not underestimate the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by paying your zakat, inshallah, and by helping the most vulnerable in our society and all over the world. Brothers and sisters, we've come to the end of another show, another zakat hour show. Inshallah, I'll be back with you same time next week, inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enables to come to you, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me to breathe again. Until next week, inshallah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.